story, let's move over to North America, where the Justice Department has released the transcript and audio of its July interview with Ghislaine Maxwell, the imprisoned former associate of Jeffrey Epstein. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, President Donald Trump's former criminal defense lawyer, interviewed Maxwell over the course of 2 days last month. Maxwell, who was convicted in 2021 of recruiting and grooming teenage girls to be sexually abused by the late financier, insisted in the interview that she never witnessed Trump do anything inappropriate. In a separate line of questioning, she said former President Bill Clinton never went to Epstein's island. Asked about a client list, Maxwell was adamant that no such document exists and that Epstein did not keep a black book with the names of famous people that he knew. Let's in fact listen to the portions of the interview audio clip.
Did you ever observe President Trump receive a massage?
Never.
Did you ever observe, you said that you were, I mean, have you seen there's photographs, public photographs of Mr. Epstein and President Trump together?
Yes.
And there's photographs of, I think you're in some of the photographs as well. Those all appear to be social settings.
Yes. That's my memory. If there were social settings, I don't know Epstein's, if he had, whatever the nature of the president's friendship, if you will, or however you want to define that with Epstein, I was never witness. I think they were friendly, like people are in social settings. I don't think they were close friends, or I certainly never witnessed the president in any of, I don't recall ever seeing him in his house, for instance. I actually never saw the president in any type of massage setting. I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects.
And did you ever hear Mr. Epstein or anybody say that President Trump had done anything inappropriate with masseuses or with anybody in your world?
Absolutely never. In any context. There's
been a lot of conversations about whether Mr. Epstein maintained like a list of people, like a book of famous people that he knew, it's called a black book or a client list or a list. Did you know of the existence of any such list?
There is no list. We'll start with that. The genesis of that story I can actually trace for you from its absolute inception, if that is what you're interested in.
Well, first, you know, to be short, there is no list, there's no client list, nothing like that.
No, there's nothing like
that. You know.
Well, fascinating development there. We're now joined by Andrew Latham, who's a professor of international relations, and he joins us live from Minnesota to discuss this further. Andrew, thank you very much for joining us. As we heard there, Andrew, Ghislaine Maxwell saying that Donald Trump has done nothing wrong, or at least as far as she knows. Do you think that significant audio clip there from an interview is enough for Donald Trump to get trust back with not only Democrats, but also, of course, Republicans?
Well, I'm not sure. On the one hand, the Russia hoax, as he likes to call it, went away eventually. And at the time, a few years back, that was meant to discredit him in all sorts of ways. And if people were inclined to believe it, they believed it. And if people were not inclined to believe it, they didn't. And then there were people in the middle who were pulled one way or the other. But by and large, that has been consigned to the dustbin of history. It's not a thing anymore. And I think we're, with this Epstein case, we're in a similar position. If you were inclined to believe that Trump was up to no good, and that he was guilty of all kinds of sexual misconduct and whatnot, then you would believe that. And you probably still believe that. But there are cracks now emerging in that narrative, providing she's telling the truth, of course. She was under oath. It was an official interview. It's not to say that people haven't lied under similar circumstances. But if she's telling the truth, or if people are inclined to believe she's telling the truth, then I think this particular story, which already has faded from the headlines, is about to be buried forever.
Now, Andrew, this seemingly was a bipartisan issue, both Democrats and Republicans uniting together behind this. As you said, Donald Trump wanted this out of the headlines ASAP. How is American media covering this now? Has this fallen out of the headlines, or is this still prominent on the polarizing American news networks as it was previously?
It's not exactly the same, but it is rhyming in a sense that it's back. People are talking about it, not just in the U.S., but abroad as well. Is it going to have the same traction? Is it going to be polarizing to quite the same degree? I don't think so. I don't think it has those legs, as it were, this time around. I think this will be a blip. It will remind people of what they thought back in the day, or for some people, it'll be news in the sense they never heard of any of this before. I think it will be less the story has lost its attraction within the Republican Party, I would say. It's not that people have rallied entirely behind President Trump in that party, but they're less inclined, there are fewer Republicans inclined to take this as ammunition, as it were, to use against him. So I think a week from now, this will be a story that is where it was a week ago, which is to say, more history than current affairs.
Andrew Latham, thank you very much for giving us the updates and your insight on that, and thank you very much for taking